Imagine a world where silence speaks louder than words. Have you ever felt the profound weight of quiet in a noisy world? In our fast-paced, hyper-connected lives, silence is often overlooked, seen merely as the absence of sound, a blank space to be filled. Yet silence holds transformative power. It is in quiet moments that we find ourselves, uncovering the depths of our thoughts, fears, and aspirations. Ancient wisdom has long celebrated silence as a path to inner peace and self-discovery, and today, more than ever, it's a journey worth taking. Through a timeless Buddhist tale and personal reflections, this exploration delves into the magic of silence as more than just a pause in conversation. It's a chance to connect with our own minds and to find clarity that words alone cannot bring. Beyond a story, this is an invitation to discover the overlooked strength of silence, a force that, if embraced, can profoundly change our lives. The Buddhist tale of silence. Setting the scene. In a quiet village surrounded by nature, the hermitage of Gautam Buddha served as a place of learning, discipline, and spiritual reflection. The ashram, a humble abode with minimal possessions, fostered an atmosphere of peace, filled with disciples dedicated to their spiritual paths under the guidance of a revered Buddhist guru. These disciples shared the responsibilities of daily life, practicing humility, learning self-discipline, and focusing on self-improvement. Despite the shared purpose, they came from varied backgrounds and personalities, each bringing unique challenges to the monastic life. Among these disciples was one young man known for his eloquent speech and abundant energy. However, his reputation extended beyond just his words. He was talkative to the point of excess, often to the discomfort of others. Wherever he went, he engaged in constant conversation, a trait he himself viewed as an asset, a sign of his intelligence and self-worth. His daily life in the hermitage was marked by long monologues, stories from villagers, and even gossip, a habit many disciples tried to ignore or avoid. His tales sometimes bordered on self-praise, often framed as selfless sacrifices made in pursuit of enlightenment. In his eyes, his wealthy background made him distinct. He believed his sacrifices for joining the spiritual life were far greater than those of his peers. This sense of pride kept him from experiencing genuine introspection. In his mind, silence was not a skill or practice worthy of attention, but merely an exercise for the timid. His belief in his superior understanding of life blinded him to the guru's subtle guidance. While other disciples found peace in quiet moments, he remained busy justifying his actions and proving his worth. This need for external validation was so ingrained in him that he couldn't comprehend how silence could contribute to spiritual growth. But his perspective would soon be challenged. Observing the disciples' behavior, the guru decided it was time to test the disciples' understanding. He invited all disciples to take a month-long resolution, each choosing a vow that would build self-discipline. Each disciple chose a resolution based on personal strength or weakness, carefully considered to be manageable, yet challenging. However, the talkative disciple approached the guru, eager to stand out. He requested a greater resolution, hoping for something that would suit his perceived superiority. The guru, smiling softly, suggested silence, a month without speaking. Taken aback, the disciple questioned the simplicity of the task, dismissing it as easy. However, he accepted the challenge, unaware of the profound journey that lay ahead. The challenge of silence and internal conflict. With newfound determination, the disciple began his vow of silence with confidence, convinced it would be a straightforward feat. His initial confidence reflected his belief that the task was simplistic, more of a superficial exercise than a meaningful challenge. As the first day passed, he succeeded in restraining himself, but his mind already began to show signs of unrest. The other disciples, accustomed to his constant chatter, were surprised by his silence, adding subtle pressure for him to uphold his vow. The silence that he initially regarded as simple soon began to feel like a weight, an invisible barrier that kept him from expressing himself freely. As the days went on, the disciple started to feel isolated, burdened by thoughts he would usually express out loud. Without the outlet of speech, he encountered the noise within himself. Doubts, anxieties, even self-criticisms that he had previously ignored or masked with conversation. Memories from the past, questions about his future, and unresolved conflicts arose in his mind, clouding his inner peace. He found himself tempted to break the silence to ease this pressure, but his commitment to the guru's challenge restrained him. Yet the tension between his outward silence and his turbulent mind grew stronger each day. This inner turmoil revealed the distinction between outer quietness and true inner silence. The external silence he practiced failed to address his internal chaos, illustrating the difference between mere silence of speech and genuine quietude of the soul. He began to understand that, although he had stopped speaking, his mind had not found peace. Each unresolved thought brought discomfort, emphasizing how much he had previously relied on speech as a means of distraction. In these moments, he began to realize that true silence required more than controlling his voice. It demanded awareness and acceptance of his own mind. His journey highlighted the challenges of self-awareness, showing that true silence forces one to confront inner conflicts that would otherwise remain buried beneath layers of noise. This discomfort was, in fact, a crucial step, nudging him toward the introspective journey that would ultimately lead to self-understanding. Transformation through silence. Struggling to find inner calm, the disciple decided to isolate himself further, leaving the ashram to wander in the forest. He hoped that solitude would ease his mind, allowing him to fulfill his vow with less struggle. As he immersed himself in the forest's natural quiet, the sounds of the outside world faded, and he found himself left alone with his thoughts. Initially, the inner noise intensified. Gradually, he began to observe his thoughts without attachment, realizing that he did not need to respond to every mental urge to speak or defend himself. As days passed in this solitude, he encountered moments of clarity and deep calm. These were fleeting at first, but grew stronger as he continued to listen rather than react to his thoughts. This stillness allowed him to reflect on his past actions and motivations, recognizing that his need to feel superior had been an attempt to mask his own insecurities. His judgmental thoughts towards other disciples, his need to compete, and his desire to be seen as better began to seem trivial and even childish. His isolation had created space for him to see his actions with new understanding. This realization transformed him, making him more compassionate toward himself and others. He understood, perhaps for the first time, the weight of his words and how they impacted others. Silence had peeled away his need to seek validation, giving him the strength to embrace humility. In the forest, without an audience to judge him, he found the freedom to simply be. Connecting this journey to modern life, people today seek similar insights through activities like meditation retreats or digital detoxes, carving out spaces of quiet to rediscover their inner voice. In these moments, people often experience shifts in their perspective, a newfound clarity that allows them to see life differently, just as the disciple did. The teachings of the guru, wisdom in silence. Upon returning, the disciple went to his guru, not as a talkative youth seeking approval, but as someone transformed. The guru, noticing his newfound calm, explained that excessive speaking drains energy and often fuels discord, disrupting inner and outer peace. The disciple now understood these teachings from experience. He had witnessed how his constant need for self-expression had hindered his growth, preventing him from fully experiencing the present moment. The guru's teachings reflect a broader truth. True understanding and compassion often arise not from words, but from quiet observation and deep listening. In the modern world, where communication is constant and overstimulation is the norm, the value of silence has become more relevant than ever. Social media, with its culture of sharing and validation, can reinforce external focus, often at the cost of introspection. Practicing restraint in speech and prioritizing listening, as the guru taught, can foster deeper connections and preserve one's emotional energy. Scientific studies today back these teachings, showing that silence reduces stress, enhances focus, and helps in understanding oneself and others. Silence enables people to process thoughts without the need to react immediately, promoting mental clarity and calm. Benefits of embracing silence in the modern world. In today's fast-paced world, the benefits of silence extend beyond spiritual growth to impact mental health, relationships, and even professional life. Silence is known to reduce anxiety, improve mindfulness, and boost creativity. The brain, free from constant stimuli, can process information more deeply, leading to better judgment and insight. For those in creative fields, silence allows space for inspiration, helping ideas to flourish. In relationships, silence fosters empathy and active listening, key components for meaningful communication. Practicing silence can strengthen these bonds, allowing people to connect on a deeper level. Incorporating silence into daily routines doesn't require extreme measures. Simple practices like setting silent hours, taking periodic breaks from digital communication, or spending quiet time in nature can offer substantial mental and emotional benefits. These small acts of silence serve as pauses that restore clarity and encourage mindful living. Cultivating inner peace through mindful silence. Silence isn't just the absence of words, but the quieting of inner turmoil. True silence encourages one to manage mental chatter, fostering a sense of calm. To cultivate this, mindfulness practices such as deep breathing, meditation, and journaling can help quiet the mind and improve focus. These practices allow individuals to observe their thoughts without judgment, promoting a gentler, more compassionate approach to self-reflection. Throughout history, many individuals have found peace and transformation in silence, using it as a powerful tool for self-growth. Figures like monks, poets, and philosophers have long championed silence as a path to clarity and inner peace, demonstrating how moments of quiet enable personal growth. Their stories, like that of the disciple, remind us of silence's enduring value, the power of silence in every moment. As we reach the end of our journey, the significance of silence becomes clear. It is both a refuge and a catalyst for growth, a way to find balance in a world that rarely stops talking. Silence isn't merely the absence of sound, it is an intentional space for reflection, understanding, and inner calm. It allows us to listen more deeply, to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. I invite you to experiment with silence in your own life. Take a few moments each day to embrace quiet, to sit with your thoughts, and to notice the clarity that unfolds. See how silence can shift your perspective and reveal insights that go beyond words. If this experience resonates, I'd love to hear about your journey. Let's create a community of introspection and mindfulness together. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's celebrate the power of silence in a noisy world.